because at a young age you met a very important person in the mafia, and kind of expand on that.
Yeah, I mean, in restaurants, you learn about discretion. And my first lesson was about 6 years old when I was a busboy at my father's Chelsea Chop House in Howard Beach, Queens. And, we always had a diminutive little guy that looked like he was important, but very underrated, understated. Everybody like jumped to attention when he would walk in. And here's a 6-year-old busboy watching all these grown men and women like, jump to attention, get him his table, get him his drink, da 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 da, And I saw my father, who rarely did that, all of a sudden, treat this man like the president walked in. And then I caught his name. And then one day I went there to pour water for the table because I always wanted to be a part of the whole vibe of being in the restaurant business. I always copied and emulated my father. Anything he did, I would copy it. So I went up to the table and I said, hi, Mr. Gambino. And I started pouring water. And, my first lesson in discretion, and he basically took me by the arm and he put his arm around me. He told me to sit down, just talked about school for a second or two. And then, all the guys were just like dead silent when I said his name. Here's a guy that goes out of his way for no one to understand or who he is or know who he is. And a 6-year-old knows his name. And that was just like, that was like, wow, like silent. You could hear a pin drop, at that table where there were 5 or 6 other guys. And he basically asked me how school was. He slipped a $20 bill in my pocket and he says, "Hi is good enough." And I don't know what I did. I don't know what I said, whatever. I was like, but all I knew, I had $20 in my pocket, and that was probably worth about 200 today. So when I was leaving, my father says, "Why were you sitting down? What was going on?" I said, "I don't know, Dad. Did I do something wrong?" I just said, He goes, "What did you do?" I said, "Nothing. I just poured water." And while at the end of the conversation was about to take place, and I said, "Hi, Mr. Gambino." My father goes, "Oh my God, oh my!" He's like, "Stratis, we call him sir. We call him, hello, sir. We don't mention his name because that's something that he doesn't like to hear his name out in public." And so this was like my first lessons of discretion, and you're not going to learn that in school. And it followed up later on. If you jump start from 1973 to 2009.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip. This clip came from one of my interviews I did in the past. Please hit subscribe if you want to get more clips like this. Also, if you want to watch the full interview, I'll put a link in the description. Or you can hit the button on the screen to watch the full interview.